Hello, Star Wars fans. Welcome to another episode of Talking Mando. I'm here with Erikel from Punch It Chewie Press, and we're going to talk about the latest episode of The Mandalorian titled
Yes,
The Jedi.
the Jedi. Oh my gosh. Mind-blowing episode. Just got to say that right off the bat.
Rosario Dawson is Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah,
That is seeing Ahsoka Tano in live action
bro.
has been what all of us Clone Wars fans have been waiting for, and
Yeah,
it was everything that we wanted, really.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, everything and more.
it was so awesome. I mean, the show didn't even waste time having Ahsoka just
No.
come up on screen like immediately, and she's just decimating soldiers, and the lightsabers looked and sounded incredible.
The coolest use of lightsabers to date, honestly. Besides the Battle of the Heroes. That was so cool to see. She was pretty much like Predator,
Yeah,
just taking them down one by one, but with lightsabers. That's like the ultimate mashup.
her lightsabers translated so well onto live
They did.
action.
So apparently they're not like CG, like some of it, yeah, but like they actually glow. Like the
Really?
prop, apparently,
Oh
yeah, they
yeah, yeah.
actually glow. Yeah,
They
yeah.
started doing that for since Force Awakens
Oh,
because
I didn't know that.
they wanted to have the light actually reflect off of the
Yeah,
actors, because like in the previous movies, like
they
they either
didn't. Yeah,
had to add that in or it didn't exist. I don't remember
yeah,
which
and that's
one.
really hard.
But yeah,
So
so like Ray versus Kylo, they did that, and I
no, it's
mean,
cool.
no lightsabers have sounded as cool on screen
No, no,
other than maybe Kylo Ren's lightsaber.
yeah, yeah, even the sound was awesome. Like, oh no, I just want more Ahsoka. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
I still can't believe that we got her in live action. And let me just say, I love like Rosario Dawson looks just like her, just an older Ahsoka.
I was just about to say
You
that.
know?
The casting choice was perfect. I'm glad that
Yeah.
we were right about that casting choice
Mm-hmm.
in our predictions. And, you know, Rosario did, although her voice is a little bit different to Ashley's,
Mm,
I think she really captured the way
yeah.
Ashley talks as the character.
Yeah.
Even though the voice might be a little bit deeper or a little bit different, I still think it
Yeah.
represents an older Ahsoka.
Yeah. I I think the same. I thought the same thing. It's definitely not Ashley, right?
Yeah.
But it I was like trying to listen to it and trying to like really process like the voice. It honestly to me it just sounded like an older Ahsoka.
Yeah, more mature
Yeah, it just
sounding
sounded
voice.
like you could hear it, but it wasn't exactly the same. But it was just it was, but just older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
And
thought that was really cool.
Ahsoka is such an important character to a lot of people, and
Yeah.
it was great seeing the reactions all around the internet, like of Ahsoka, and like coming to live action, and oh, it's just like such an amazing moment.
Exactly. No, it. We're gonna be talking. We're gonna be telling our kids about this. This is like a huge moment, not just in Star Wars history, but like film history. You know,
Yeah.
like when has that actually happened where a a character like that gets brought onto to live action?
Okay, the episode starts out with Ahsoka just mowing
Yeah.
down soldiers. She's trying to get into this town where the magistrate is keeping kind of like all the people in the town under lockdown. She has prisoners and stuff, and Ahsoka's, I guess, trying to rescue them, but she's also trying
Mhm.
to get some information from the magistrate. Backstory on the magistrate: she was in the Clone Wars. She was apparently a bad guy, and she ended up making ships for the Empire and destroying planets to gather the resources to make like Star Destroyers and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Um, so then Ahsoka goes off, kind of gives them some time to think what they're going to do, and
Mhm.
Mando shows up. He goes into the town. the magistrate hires Mando to kill Ahsoka for a Beskar spear.
Yeah.
And he says okay, but really he's looking for Ahsoka. So he
Yeah.
goes into the forest, and it was really cool when Mando's going into the forest, because before he finds Ahsoka, we see Morai.
Yes.
And for anybody who doesn't know who Morai is, every time Ahsoka's around, Morai is too. Do you want to explain who Morai is for those
So
who may not know?
yeah, so this kind of goes all the way back to Clone Wars during when Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi-Wan take a trip to Mortis, and the whole thing, the father, son, and the daughter happens. But we don't really see Morai until Rebels, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, we don't
She's
see
like the
Morai until Rebels.
spirit of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
daughter.
So yeah, so I mean, I don't have the Wikipedia page right here, but from what I understand about Morai is that if he's pretty or she's pretty much an extension or representation of the daughter from Mortis, and since pretty much didn't Ahsoka get like revived with like
Yeah.
she
She
gave her life for
represents like the
Ahsoka.
light side of the Force.
Yeah, and she represents the light side of the Force. So I'm guessing that when the daughter revived Ahsoka after she died, um, that it's just kind of representing that she's always there with her,
Yeah.
and I guess also maybe may represent that Ahsoka's always walking with the light, you know, and then maybe that's what her lightsabers also symbolize, you know, the white blades, which is
Yeah.
cool. I'm like just now thinking about all this, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool.
And the fact that Ahsoka isn't a Jedi anymore, but she still
Exactly.
represents the good.
Goodness. Yeah.
So yeah, we see Morai. Then Ahsoka and Mando kind of like have a little
Little spar.
kind of thing.
Mhm.
And then Mando says that Bo-Katan sent him, so Ahsoka notices the child, and
She listened up.
yeah, and she's really interested in it.
Yeah.
So Ahsoka goes and talks with the child through the Force, because the
Which is
child doesn't really
really
speak very
cool.
well. So that was cool.
Mhm.
And we find out that the child's name is Grogu.
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 Yes.
So what do you think about the Grogu name? Do you like it, or do you wish that he would have been unnamed or had some other name?
No, I think I like it. I mean, I know a lot of people were like kind of like complaining that it's like, oh, I like really wanted him to like kind of like stay mysterious. And like I get that. Like I totally get that. But at the same time, it's like I don't see the point in writing a story and like making a show about a character who's nobody.
Yeah. And we find out a lot about his backstory.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I mean, I really like the name because it's also not just like a variation of Yoda, like Yaddle. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's like a different name, but still very similar
I think we're
to
so
like the
used.
species.
Yeah. And I think we're so used to Baby Yoda and the child that it's hard for
Yeah,
us to uh
like
get used to
the
this new name
characters.
or accept this new name.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to get used to it. It felt a little off in the beginning, but
Mhm.
I'm starting to get used to it.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
another thing that was controversial was Ahsoka's Montrals.
Yeah,
Doesn't bother me, honestly.
really not a big deal.
They weren't that much longer in Rebels. The only thing that's a little bit odd is how long Shaak T's were.
Yeah.
But maybe Shaak T's just a lot older. I don't know.
Yeah, like I do agree. Like you can't disagree that they're shorter because
Yeah.
they are, but then again, it's like you like there's certain limitations when it comes to live action, and not just like budgetary, but like Ahsoka's literally doing backflips. Like the one of the first things she does is a backflip, getting away from Mando's flamethrower.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, what did you want?
And
You know,
ask
like
any cosplayer how heavy and
exactly.
cumbersome those things are, and for
Exactly.
them to have her like on a wire doing flips and stuff with that on,
Exactly.
might be a little difficult. But I don't think it
Yes.
takes away from the character or anything like
No,
that.
definitely not. And then again, it's like people are comparing it to like, oh, look at Shakti, like hers are like the length that pretty much Ahsoka's should be because that's what they looked like in Rebels. And it's like, I get it, but we never saw Shakti like being as acrobatic as we saw Rosario Dawson
Yeah.
this last episode, you know?
And maybe like we don't know alien anatomy. Maybe she can just like tell her
Maybe she
tails like
cut
how
her
long to
hair.
be. Maybe she's just like be short and they go short, and
Exactly.
Shakti's like be long and they're long. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, no, and I do just want to say like one thing. It's like, you know, I more than anyone, more than like or just as much as any Star Wars fan, I understand like when something doesn't feel like it's right or it doesn't feel like that's the way it should have been.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not gonna lie, that's how I felt about Luke Skywalker with in episode 8. I had a problem with Luke because of the way they portrayed his character, not because he had long hair and a beard, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
it,
definitely.
it was a it's like a big deal, and especially because, you know, yeah, and let me just use the same like not excuse but like reason all the everyone, or not everyone, but like the people complaining about the Leicu are using is like, oh well, like I grew up with this character and like she means so much to me and like she represents this in my life, and it's like, yeah, I get that. So like how do you think the people that grew up with Luke Skywalker for 40 plus years feel, you
Yeah.
know? So it's like, I'm not excusing it in any way or like trying to say like one's more or like one's more valid than the other, but I'm just saying it's like you're acting like that's what happened when it's just her Leicu are like 5 inches shorter.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. One, Dave
And it's
Filoni
like,
directed this episode. That's his baby, and he
exactly,
made sure that it's the way it's supposed to be. Number two, Dave Filoni and George Lucas came up with this character together. Actually,
exactly.
George Lucas mainly did. But
But
George
like,
was the one
yeah,
episode that George was there for when they filmed was this one, and
exactly,
he
exactly.
had no problem with it either. So
No,
get over it.
exactly. Get over it, and like, don't like, who goes to the actress's page to like harass her? And Dave Filoni, like people are going to Dave Filoni's page, Rosario, and like
Yeah,
people from ILM, like just like art designers and stuff like that, like harassing them. It's like, you guys like, and these some of these are the same people that were complaining about the whole Kelly Marie Tran like getting harassed, and it's like,
yeah.
calm down, like it's fine.
Just be
And like
happy that we got
that,
Ahsoka on live action
exactly
and
that,
Rosario and Ashley get along and
exactly.
all is
if
well.
if Ashley likes the character and Dave Filoni is literally why she is the way she is in episode or chapter 13, accept it. Like, Dave Filoni knows Ahsoka. Yes, George Lucas made Ahsoka with, you know, with his help, but like Dave Filoni pretty much took her through her entire journey. So
Yep,
like if there's anyone I trust with her character, it's Dave Filoni. So
100%.
I'm here for it, Dave. I love you. Um, Filoniverse is number one. Just wanted to say that. But let's move on.
Yeah, that's that.
That's
Um,
that.
so we find out that Grogu was raised on the Jedi Temple at Coruscant. This actually caught me off guard. I did not
Yeah,
expect that this
me
was
neither.
true. Ahsoka said that he was hidden during the purge, and somebody took him from the temple. She doesn't say who, whether it was a Jedi, or Imperial, Anakin, anybody. She just says someone. Uh, I know you have a theory. Do you want to share your theory?
I do want to share my theory.
I did make sure to see what she said.
Yeah.
She does say somebody, but
Yeah. So
I
she
found your theory
says,
very interesting.
thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. So for those of you who have not heard my theory, um, I believe that it was Mace Windu that took the child from the Jedi Temple during Order 66. Here is why. Mace was pretty much the very first victim of Order 66. And for, we know that George Lucas already made a statement saying that he did survive. It's like I think I don't really remember exactly where it's from. We can look it up if you want to look it up. Look it up, but it's there. And I'll take George's word any day over anyone that Mace is alive. And
that would be awesome. How amazing would it be if they brought Sam Jackson back?
yes, it is not. All right, it's not verified by me. I know a lot of people were talking about it a while ago. If it's not a fact, then that's my bad. But still, either way, even if that's not true, here there's more points. If he did survive that fall, which I most definitely think he did, because Darth Maul got cut in half and got thrown down a like trash chute.
Yeah, all he
and
did is
survived.
lose a hand.
Exactly.
Darth Maul got cut in half, so Mace
That's
Windu
all he
is
did,
way
got
more
booted out the
powerful than
window,
Darth
so-
Maul.
Exactly. So what I think happened is, as soon as he got sent out the window, I think that, well, he lost his hand, he lost his lightsaber. So if he survived, he wasn't thinking, okay, I'm gonna go try and keep fighting in this condition. He thought, okay, it's time to retreat. So if this is it for the Jedi Order, I'm going to save and get the best chance for the Jedi Order to survive. And who would that be? Oh, I don't know, maybe the youngest Jedi in the Jedi Temple, who also just so happens to also live for 900 years. And
Yeah.
their species are naturally force sensitive, right? And what's even crazier is that if he, like, let's just say he's still alive during the events of the Mandalorian. If he's still alive during the events of the Mandalorian, I think he'd be like in his mid to late 70s.
Yeah.
And Sam Jackson is 71 right now.
I know. And not only that, Sam Jackson has, for a fact, said that he wants to come back and play Mace Windu.
Exactly.
Who else has said they want to come back and play characters? Ewan McGregor. He's coming back. I mean, there. It could happen.
Yeah, it could 100% happen.
If anyone's saying like, why didn't Luke go to Mace or whatnot? I mean, Mace wasn't exactly the most inviting Jedi master,
especially to Skywalkers.
Yeah, and he would. Mace dabbles in the dark side because that's. I mean, we've known that's why he's so powerful. It's because he knows both sides. He just is able to stay on the light.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. He's gonna be. That would be really cool to see in the Mando.
I think that'd be really cool. Even if he's not alive during the time of the Mandalorian, even if it's just like Grogu's backstory, that Mace Windu is the one that saved him.
Yeah.
That alone is awesome. That alone would be really cool, because a lot of people were saying like, oh, like it looks like the existence of Grogu or the training of Grogu was kind of like a secret, right? So if he's one of the last three of Yoda's kind, then I totally buy it being a secret,
It would make sense.
It would make sense.
Mace, after he got thrown out of the window, went to the temple and grabbed Grogu
before
Anakin showed up, because Anakin killed everybody.
Everyone.
I don't think, to my knowledge, nobody made it out of that temple alive.
No. Well, Jocasta knew. Like a handful, like a couple. Like a couple.
She made it out, and then she died right after because Vader.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she got done dirty.
Yeah. So, yeah. Moving on.
Yeah.
That's a cool theory. I hope.
Yeah. I feel like I missed a few points and I totally butchered it, but
I think you got all of them. I think you did.
All right.
Yeah. Go check out his TikTok.
Check it. Yes, please. Check out the TikTok. I promise you it makes a lot more sense than me right now.
So Ahsoka decides Mando wants Ahsoka to train Grogu. Ahsoka decides to test Grogu's ability with the Force. However, while conducting this test, Ahsoka senses fear in Grogu and refuses to train him. And she says why. It's because Grogu's attachment to the Mandalorian makes him vulnerable to his fears, similar to that of his master, her master, Anakin Skywalker. And we all know how that ended up. So we find out Grogu has hidden his abilities to survive post purge, and that's why he doesn't use them as much as he could be using them.
Seeing that was really cool. But what do you think about her not like kind of like refusing to train him? I have like a few thoughts about it, but I wanted to know what you thought about that.
I understand why she would see that and not want to train him.
Mm-hmm.
Although we also saw that Ezra had his fears, and she was around Ezra and Kanan, although she wasn't training Ezra directly.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a little bit of a cop-out because she clearly has an agenda of seeking our next topic.
Yes, our next topic.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yes.
This is why she's besieging this city. She is trying to find out Thrawn's location from the magistrate. And as we all know, the last time we saw Thrawn, he was jumping into hyperspace in the unknown regions with Ezra Bridger and his whale friends.
Yes.
I haven't read the Thrawn books that are canon, so I don't know if there's any information there that...
I know those are mostly like, at least the first couple ones are more of like an origin story for Thrawn.
Okay.
And then I think that one of the newest ones takes
it just
place
came
between
out
like
last
4
month,
and 5.
right? Or this month?
Oh,
right?
the one with the blue. I haven't read that one.
Yeah.
But you don't really need to read them to.
Okay.
So. But I do have a theory about this though.
Go for it.
So. First of all, Thrawn. Now alive, like we got an live action Ahsoka and now Thrawn. That is insane. That is insane. But it seems to me that Dave may be setting up the Thrawn trilogy.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
They know Star Wars is their most popular media on Disney Plus. They're going to make an MCU out of Mandalorian spin-offs. Ahsoka show, Thrawn trilogy.
Like with minor differences probably, but still
taking back Mandalore with Bo-Katan.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Darth Maul show up for like a Solo 2 type sequel on Disney Plus.
I feel like with Thrawn, we're definitely going to see him in live action in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But I feel like the story isn't going to end there. I think that if they do anything with the Thrawn trilogy, which I really hope they will, I really hope they do, and I really think they will, because it's Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. I think that everything it's all too perfect. If you really like kind of dig into like the details and these little like hints, it's looking like it's gonna be beautiful.
We're gonna see Ezra Bridger too.
I mean, for sure.
We saw the Loth Cat in this episode teasing him.
There's all these little hints everywhere. But with Thrawn, I think the story is probably going to move into like a Clone Wars style animated show taking place between episodes 6 and 7. And that will cover pretty much like the events of the Thrawn trilogy.
Interesting. You think it'll be animated?
Yeah, because I don't think they'll recast for Han, Luke, and Leia. I don't think so at all. Because
you think
Han, Luke, and Leia and Chewie are in the Thrawn trilogy.
That's true.
I don't think...
Or they might do one without them.
They could, but I feel like Dave, man. Dave. He has so much respect for every part of Star Wars, especially the EU.
I mean, he put HK-87 assassin droids in this episode too.
Exactly, man.
Also, Yoda reference. Ahsoka referenced Yoda.
Yeah, dude, I cried when I heard his music. But anyway, I really think that. Okay, and here's my reasoning. This all seems very familiar. When the prequels came out, obviously people felt disconnected from them because it felt too separated from the original trilogy. The original trilogy. So people wanted, like, not wanted, but we needed stuff to like fill in the gaps, right? Something in between, right? So they gave us the Clone Wars. And look at what that did to the prequels. Right? So now the sequels, I mean, I love the prequels. That wasn't me talking smack at all. I don't think there was, even if we didn't get the Clone Wars, the prequels are beautiful. Just saying. But now we're in a
Clone
position.
Wars is the best.
Clone Wars is the best. It is. But what I'm saying is the sequels are out now, which yeah.
Yeah.
So, and if we ever needed, like, fill in the details, it's with the sequels.
There's a lot of details that need filling, let me tell you.
Exactly. So what do you think we're getting? Another animated show to fill in all those gaps and answer all these questions that we have. And what better way to introduce it with the Thrawn trilogy? And it is not just me like being hopeful, but like last time we see Thrawn is, like you said, blasting off into hyperspace with the Purrgil and Ezra. So he's definitely with Ezra. And they went into the unknown regions. And what is in the unknown regions? The Chiss Ascendancy. That's where freaking Thrawn is from. So
we've been hearing Yuzon Vong rumors too.
Exactly. So I think, well, not I think, but he's obviously powerful again. Like the magistrate was under his control, like everyone there was under his control, and Ahsoka is obviously looking for him, and she's having a hard time. So that means he probably has his ship again, fully operational, and he's probably he has to be a problem at this point.
Yeah, makes me wonder why Ezra didn't finish the job. What happened to him?
I feel like Ezra's probably the one that got like wiped out because he was pretty much controlling the Purrgil. So whenever they emerged from hyperspace or wherever they went, I feel like Ezra was probably the one that was like pooped, and Thrawn pretty much took the opportunity to, not die when he woke up and took him prisoner or something.
I bet you he got taken prisoner.
Oh, of course, yeah.
That would be awesome. It would be amazing to see a Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah, definitely. We could get Mara Jade. We could get like all these characters from the trilogy.
Talon, please.
Oh.
Thrawn happened. That was amazing to see. I couldn't believe when she mentioned that. My jaw dropped. Yeah. I like Ahsoka. I expected that. Thrawn, I did not expect that at all.
Well, I expected it, not this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I expected it, but a little different. I expected him to be like above Gideon.
Yeah.
I expected it to be like once Gideon died or they got rid of Gideon, that Thrawn would step in and be like, okay, I have to take care of this.
I have a feeling they're Thrawn and Gideon are two separate factions of the Empire working towards a different goal.
It's like, that's why it's called Heir to the Empire, is because Thrawn was literally the heir. So if Gideon is trying to take over the Empire, I'm sure that he's not very good friends with Thrawn.
Nope. Thrawn is going to be upset.
Yeah.
So yeah, where do Mando's just keeps getting better and better. Every single episode drops a new every new episode drops a new bomb at the end of it. Yeah. Last time it was Ahsoka. This time it's Thrawn. We're only halfway through the season, so
we are. Yeah.
I don't know if anything more is going to be set up. I think maybe it's just going to go straight into, actually, There might, because our
There might, yeah.
heroes, Ahsoka sends Mando and Grogu to the planet Tython. Haven't heard of
Dude.
this planet.
Oh my god, I cannot believe they made that canon.
Okay, what is Tython?
Tython is the homeworld of the Jedi. That's from like Dawn of the Jedi. Well, I don't. You didn't. You didn't really read the EU a lot.
I
Well, the
I
comics
I
maybe.
didn't read the
Maybe.
EU a lot, and if I did, I missed this.
No, that's okay. These are some pretty obscure comics,
That
which is fine. Like,
that okay. You just saying it's the homeworld of the Jedi gets me even more excited because I thought it was just gonna be like some nature world with like a Jedi temple, kind of like they did in Rebels, where Kanan
no.
and Ezra go and find a temple. But that is. I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
Yeah, dude. This planet is pretty much where the Jedi like built their entire philosophy. Like the light side being the Bendu and the dark side being what's the name, what's the word? I forgot the word, but they're like that's when they like the very beginning of the Jedi Order all started on Tython.
That's
Wh-
awesome.
which is it's I never in a million years thought we would get that back into canon.
That's gonna be really cool to see
Yeah, and
on
in
screen, live action.
live action.
Wow. And
No.
so yeah, they're gonna go to Tython and find a Jedi temple, and Grogu is going to use a seeing stone in the temple to choose his path.
Yeah.
And a Jedi may seek him out. And for anybody wondering if Grogu's gonna choose the path or not, Grogu's gonna choose the path, and a Jedi is gonna
Yes.
come find him.
He is.
And I bet you that Jedi is gonna be Ezra Bridger.
Ezra?
That's what I think. That's my theory.
Yeah. No, if Ezra is not a prisoner of Thrawn, then I think it's going to be Ezra.
Yep.
But if he is a prisoner, then I think it could be either Cal Kestis.
Oh, imagine having Cameron Monaghan show up as Cal Kestis. You know, that's
Yeah.
also a great theory. Cal
Yeah.
could show up as well.
Because we know they're making a sequel to the game. Because their words, they said, we're not done with his story. Like, we want to use him for like in the future.
Yeah.
So
And he's a great actor too.
he is. He's a really good actor. And if it's not Cal, then maybe Mace finds him again, or Luke. You know,
Luke, imagine.
dude. Yeah, I have been. I've been dreaming.
But knowing Dave, I think it's either going to be Cal or Ezra.
Yeah.
I think those are
Yeah,
two solid
I think
guesses.
those are the top two. Those are the top two.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was an amazing episode of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Everything that we hoped it would be, and I mean, we finally have Ahsoka Tano in live action after
do.
what, 10 years?
10 years.
So, thank
No,
you,
yeah.
Dave, for making an amazing episode. We love Ahsoka so much, and
We do. You did an incredible job. Rosario Dawson did an amazing job bringing her to life. We love everything that you guys are doing with the show. Please don't get discouraged by people who are just a little too hot-headed. We appreciate everything you're doing. If you're watching this.
if.
If.
And Ashley, we love you too.
Yes, we love you.
You'll always
so
be our
much.
Ahsoka.
Always.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Talking Mando. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Star Wars Daily, and subscribe to the channel. We are actually going to be moving the episodes to release on Monday. That's why we missed this
Mando
past Friday.
Mondays?
So now all Talking Mando episodes will release on Mando Monday, following the previous week's episode.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
follow Erikel.
Yes. Oh, you? Or me? You?
Go for
You
it.
go first. I go first.
Follow Erikel at Punch and Chewie Press.
Yeah, on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. All the
And
links
check
down
out
below.
his latest pin drop.
Yes, please. We just had a Mandalorian pin drop earlier this month, along with a Knights of the Old Republic pin drop, and
Take a
we
look.
have one coming up. So,
yeah, links in the description below.
yes.
Thank you guys, and may the force be with you.
Bye.